Hello everyone, this is Mosina and welcome to my channel. So this video is about QA basics and how IT process works. This video is mainly intended for those who wants to know what is QA and whenever they hear IT, like what are the teams involved in IT. So this video will give you the basic information of what is what. So before we jump into the main content of the overview, this is about me, and I have close to 10 years of experience with one of the leading consulting firms, out of which most of the part of my experience is in US, and with 3.8 years in India, back in India. So during my tenure with the consulting firm, I have experience with different types of testings as listed in this slide. And during whenever we test something, like we have different tools which we use to perform our day-to-day activities. So below are these are the tools which I have experience with. And talking about my certifications, the highlighted CSQA is the globally recognized certificate. This is pretty much about me, and here is my LinkedIn profile. We will move on to discussing about the QA. All right. Okay, QA. So most of you whoever are interested to know which field is good for you, or how about QA, so you would have done some self-study. So in this video what I'll do is I'll give you a basic example, a real-time example of why do we need QA. I'll start highlighting a couple of things which will help me to show you what is what. So when it comes to QA, what is QA? QA is quality assurance. And as part of being in the quality assurance team, QA team, one part of the activity is we make sure that the product meets the standards or requirements. Now, what does that mean is, now say any product. When I say product, it can be an application, website application like Amazon, Walmart, Target.com, anything. Products can be as simple as like mixer grinder or any products, whatever we use. So before that product is given to customer, we as a QA team make sure that there's nothing wrong or it is defect free basically. So customers doesn't face any kind of problem and they don't have to work with written and all that stuff. Now assume that you are going to purchase something from say Amazon for $10. For some reason you're not able to proceed further. You are stuck in like checkout page. The payment is not happening for some reason, like maybe your card is not getting accepted, but however your card is like valid. So at that time what you do is you just move on, you go to some other website and you start making your purchase. So in that situation what happens is Amazon loses its customer for that particular given transaction. They will have like low customer satisfaction and because of unstable application. And what do? You get that product from some other company, from Walmart, from the competitors. Now for you it's just a $10 item. However, when it comes to company, imagine that 100 customers are affected at the same time. The loss to the company gets multiplied, like $10 into 100 people affected, which is equals like $1,000 of loss. So for that reason, every company makes sure that they have a team which could do that job for them, who is no one but the QA team. So as a QA team, we test the product and we approve that the product is good to be used by the end users. End users are nothing but the people who are using. Now you are using Amazon.com, then you are that end user. So we take that kind of responsibility to make sure that and tell companies that your product is good to go ahead. So this is what we are. Now I'll show you next slide wherein I'll tell you where does this QA team fits. Now whatever process we discuss is just about like software testing. And the bubbles you see here, these are the different teams which are represented in the process. There are a couple other teams which I haven't mentioned in this slide. However, we will talk only about the few teams which works closely to get the product delivered on time. Starting from the product owner, this team comes first in the game. Now, I'll take a simple example of you're trying to purchase a house and you have your own requirement of like having two bed, two bath, and a kitchen cabinet which you want to be like black. So you gave the requirement as a product owner. Now next comes in the picture business analyst. As the saying goes, instead of like saying it 1,000 times, document it for once. That's what happens in this phase. So whatever requirement the client gave us, the PSA team will put that in the documentation, and this team will have extensive knowledge about what they are doing. Now, say if it happens to be a like healthcare, then they know like how the healthcare industry works, what needs to be done. And if it happens to be banking, then they know what are the terminologies which are used in banking and how banking industry works in and out, similarly like e-commerce. So they are the expert in those domains. BSA are the experts. So once they put the requirements into like more simpler language where anyone can understand, they they share the requirement document with the development team and the QA team. Now the development team in this case will build a house. They will make sure that they build the house as per the client requirements. Now, once they build the house, now say development team has done the beautiful job of building the house, they will let QA team know to go there and check if everything looks good as per the requirement. So QA team comes fourth in the picture. So as a QA, we will get into the house and we will check like if everything matches the requirement. You see like two bed, two bath, and a kitchen cabinet which are white. So once we are good, once we are satisfied that everything looks good as per the requirement, then we move forward to the next phase. However, in this case, we know that the client wanted black cabinets, but here it is white. So we go back to development team and work with them and get that fixed. So Q and development team will go back and forth to get the product right. Now, whatever happened here, the white cabinets, it's called defect or bug or issues. Once the defect is fixed, once the development team says that, okay, now you can go ahead and check. Now you see that those are black cabinets, then you are good to go. You will be like, okay, I'm good from my end, and we will proceed on to UAT testing. UAT testing comes fifth in the picture. Now, who are these UAT persons? They can be from the same bubble of client. Now, say you give a requirement, UAT can be your spouse or family, someone, but in real time, the employees are from the same bubble, from this client bubble. So the UAT has to approve the product and they have to give us the final approval that they are very well like satisfied with whatever was built. Once we get approval from this team, that's when we will go to a phase called deployment, where the things or the product or application will be made available to the end users. Now, like I said previously in the previous slide, that end users are no one but people who are using the application in real time. So this is how the entire process works in IT. There are different roles like Scrum Master and Project Managers, but I haven't listed it here because I wanted to cover the main basic teams, whatever work in order to get things like move forward. So this is a very simple example of how things work, but as and when I make like more videos, we will work with complex examples, taking the real-time scenarios of how things work. So this video was about basics of QA and basics of ID, how the ID process works. Now, who are we? This slide is about us. We are, I'll just highlight the name. You can check us here. We are Horizon Online Training Center, and you can visit us at this website, or you can email us at this website in case of any questions you have about this video or any questions which is out of this video as well. We will be happy to help you. Now, what we do is we are trainers who are based out of Orlando, and we will give you a training which is mostly client facing, meaning you will be working facing the client, so you will get that kind of exposure whatever I had during my experience working in US. And we cover both manual and automation Selenium training, so you will be like mostly have the foundation. We will make your foundation strong, which is like manual testing, and followed by the automation testing, which you will be learning using Selenium. All these are 90% practical sessions, meaning you will be working on a small project, and you will be just like how you will work in an IT company when you join. Similarly, you will have that exposure, and you will work, you will find defects, and you will log the defects, you will work with the dev team. So just the IT process I explained, you will have that more in practical during the training. Once you are trained, we have tie up with two consultancies who will work on your placement. So this is how we operate, and this is how we work. And like I said, in case of any questions, you can reach out to us, and stay tuned for our next video where I will discuss more basics about like what is SDLC, software development life cycle, and what are the methods or methodology involved when we start working as a team, like as a QA person, as dev, with client and with PSA, how SDLC work. It will be part of next video. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you like this video, you can subscribe so you will get a notification when I upload my next video. Thank you again.